So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. Well, how are you? Come on in here. Let's get this thing going. And what's that? How am I doing? Oh, I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. Yeah, a little stuff on my throat and a little stuff on my nose, and yeah, I'm still doing okay. How are you? It is the Daily Boost. And I'm still sick. Yeah, that's okay. I was thinking my voice is so low right now. When Christmas comes around this year and Pentatonics goes on tour again, I'm going to call them and say, hey guys, Mary, did you know? And see if they'll hire me. You think? Because I'm there now. I'll be there for another couple more days. It's just, man, it's terrible. Good to have you. Yeah, I got sick last week. By the way, so lucky that as soon as I got sick, I think I told you this on one of the podcasts, that I said, I got to record Friday and Monday's show. Thank goodness I did. It gave me 3 days to just kind of go through the worst of this stuff and come back today thinking. Because when this happens to me, I always think. It always grounds me when this kind of thing happens to me. Because I'm typically get up and just wind me up and go. And I just go all day long. And then I go to bed and sleep and get up and do it again. That's actually my idea of a perfect day. To get up and have a really great day all day long. Go to bed, have great dreams all night. Get up and do it again. If I can do that every day, and I can't. But if I could, life would be really good, right? Oh, goodness. What a weekend it's been. So lucky I recorded it. But it did get me thinking. Because just like you, is there a time in your life, maybe even recently, maybe now, maybe you're sitting on the sofa right now and you're thinking, man, I can't remember when I got stopped last time. When was the last time your body forced you to stop? I've got a head cold, yeah. It's not the cute sniffly kind either, by the way. No, it's the kind that keeps you up at night. It's the kind that your wife says, that's gross. Kind of fogs your brain. You can't remember why you walked into a room. I was having dinner the other night, and I just stopped. My wife was feeding me chicken soup. She was so nice, feeding me chicken soup. Weird noodles in it, but nonetheless, it was chicken soup. And I just stopped. And she goes, you okay? I said, yeah, I just stopped. I just froze. It was weird. It's the kind where you fall asleep sitting up. And then you wake up, and you didn't know you fell asleep. That's a bit scary. That's scary. You ever think about that? Wait a second. Is that like dying? I was just there, and then I wasn't? That's weird. You can't work out. My wife still bugs me about that. You're just getting sick. You don't want to go to the gym. That's all. Can't go mess around in the garage with your motorcycle. Can't ride it. You're too foggy for that, even though it's bike week in Daytona and I wanted to. Can't walk my dogs. My dogs are like, Dad, why aren't you not walking me? Of course, I got out from walking the dogs for 3 days in a row. That was pretty awesome, but I do think I acquired a debt to my wife. You can't read. I like to read. It's like, it's great, man. I'm sick. I can't do anything. Can't go anywhere. Don't have to be dragged around doing stuff. I'm just going to sit here and be sick. I'm just going to read, but you can't read because you can't focus. You don't have any obligations. And still, you can't do anything you want. Your body simply says, nope, not today. It's humbling, isn't it? So I'm on day 4 of this, and yeah, I'm kind of coming out of it. You can tell my spirit is there. You can tell that I'm thinking. I do that a lot when I get sick like this. I start thinking about stuff. I can't do much else, so I start thinking. And it's funny how when you get all the other distractions out of the way, how you get some real clarity in things. And I started thinking about freedom. A driver for me. I'm an original 4-hour workweek guy. I was doing this before Tim Ferriss was doing it. I wasn't a laptop lifestyle guy. I was a guy who said, I'm retiring before anybody else retires. I'm not going to sit here 45 years and do stuff I don't like to do. I'm just going to go ahead and stop doing things I don't like to do and do what I do like to do, and got into it, right? So I've been doing this a long time, and I started thinking about the freedom and the fact that I chose to do that. In fact, the reason I chose to do that, and the fact that that even gives me the freedom to do a podcast if I want to or not if I want to, and if I don't, you'll understand. Man, when you get sick and you get stopped, you start thinking, don't you? And when you get stopped, you think a lot. You can't outrun your thoughts, can you? You can't distract yourself. You can't productivity hack your way out of it. A lot of people I work with, and I work with a lot of clients, and they'll tell me right at the top of the list is I never get time to think. They get on the phone and basically they're thinking out loud so I can help them with things. But when you get like this, you kind of have to sit there, right? And something interesting happens. Have you noticed this? That you start to realize that whether you're sick or you're healthy, whether you're paying attention or not paying attention, whether you do something or don't do something, the world just keeps doing what the world does. Nothing pauses because you're horizontal on the couch or just checking out. Traffic still moves. People still argue on social media. Heck, this weekend we had a war in Iran start. Okay. When you're sick, you just watch the news and just see what's going on, right? Somebody's still making money. Somebody's losing money. And nobody's checking in to see if Scott had a head cold. That realization isn't depressing, really. It's kind of freeing when you think about it. I learned this lesson first a lot of years ago. You've heard me mention before about my first wife passing away. At the time, I didn't like the idea. I still don't like the idea. Didn't like being a widower at 46 years old. That was weird. I learned since then that a lot of people are widowers that early. I cleared my throat there for you. But I learned a lesson. You know what that lesson was? Well, my wife was sick and she was dying, but I would go out and do errands. I'd drive around town. I'm going to the grocery store and things like that, just doing stuff. Sometimes just getting out to clear my head. Other times just going out to buy the things I had to buy. But the kids were still going to school. The school buses were still there. This was the holiday season. There were Christmas parades going on. Thanksgiving had come and passed. Grocery stores were full and bustling. Construction crews still out building stuff. I remember thinking, wait a second. How is the world still functioning when I'm not? How is everything normal when my life is feeling like it's collapsing? And that's when it really hit me. Whatever's happening inside your head, whatever story you're telling, whatever you think your life is supposed to look like, it's 100% yours. The world does not care. Everything I've done with this program ever since then, Life Begins When You Move and Life Gets in the Way, is essentially because of that. It's yours. It's not about productivity hacks. It's not about habits. None of that stuff. It's inside your head. The world is not managing your expectations. It's basically just adjusting to your emotional weather.
I'm not giving up. I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop.
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney Plus.
It just keeps moving. That realization turned me into a bit of a motivational rebel a long time ago. Always been very motivational. I was already doing it in fitness classes and things like that. But I recognized something early on. I said, I'm doing this for as much for me as I am for you. I figure if I could just continue to help people, motivate them around the world, and find a way to break them free from the prison they live in, most people, I would have to walk my talk and do the same thing. Yeah, that was my mindset. Didn't want to motivate the world, although I've been able to do that. I just want to live mine. So I made a decision. Maybe you made this decision as well. And some people will look at this and they'll say, man, that's kind of narcissistic or just selfish. I said, my life, my time, my way. Now, does that mean exclusively that I'm going to be mean to other people and not help anybody else? No, you can tell I'm very giving in that way. In fact, a lot of my life, a lot of what makes me happy is just doing that. But still, it's just mine. You don't own my life. Nobody else does. It still is my time, the most valuable asset that we have. The only thing you can't get back from. It's still my way, because at the end of the day, I'm going to do things my way, even if I do the way you told me to do it. It's the way I decided to do it, right? Because you told me to. Okay, fine. You're like an autonomous car, but better. I've lived that way for more than 20 years now. But here's the interesting part. Even when you choose freedom, even when you choose, like I did, to build a business around flexibility, even when you choose to build your schedule around flexibility, like I do, you're still going to get sick. You're still going to have to deal with stress. Money's still going to come and it's still going to go. People are going to disappoint you. They're going to make you happy too. Life is still going to interrupt you. And eventually, you're going to die. Is that morbid? I get in trouble sometimes because people say to me, Scott, it's a motivational show. Why do you talk about death? There's nothing more motivating to me than not dying. How about you? It's clarity. Marcus Aurelius, I talk about Stoic stuff all the time. You should, because you could leave life right now, you should let that determine what you do, say, and think. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Or as I'm very commonly heard saying to my clients, tick-tock, 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 whatever they're doing, tick-tock, time is talking. What do you mean? Our time is running out? We have an hour to talk? And are you watching the minute by? No, your life is ticking away as you think stupid stuff. Marcus wasn't being dramatic. He was being practical. He was reminding himself, stop pretending you have forever. And when you're sick, even for a few days, I'll tell you what, if you're wise and smart, like I think I can be at least a couple of days a week, that truth sneaks right back in. You realize how fragile momentum is. How quickly you can take those important tasks that you have, the ones you got to do, I've got to do this. It just doesn't matter. You get a choice. Race back to full speed or maybe learn something. Over the weekend, the church that I've been going to for a few years now, I had a preview. They opened their brand new $9 million building, and it's quite the sight. They've been very blessed over there. And here I'm sick, and I was right at the stage where I didn't think I was contagious. And I said, I got to go, man. I got to go. My wife's like, well, are you sure? I said, it's my choice. Let me go, and I'll just deal with it, okay? I had to go be part of this thing. I had to be part of the last service at the old cafeteria we've been in and the new service coming up in the new building. I had to go. Freedom of choice. I just had to be careful not to spread my germs. I like my life to be that way. In my world, my family is that way. It doesn't matter what's going on around me. It doesn't matter what commitment I have. If my family needs me, I'm there. You will get put off. Freedom of choice. Freedom isn't about circumstances. It's about how you orient your life. If your identity is built around freedom, mine is. Options, mine is. Growth, mine is. A lot of people talk about freedom. It's very popular. So popular, people kind of ignore it these days. But I tell you this, every single client that I have that I've worked with for the past 20 years, every single one of them, whether they said it or not, they want freedom. And what is freedom really? It's having options in your life. When you lack options, you can't do things. They want growth. When you stop growing, as Tony Robbins said many years ago, you're dying. Can you feel it? Right now in your life, do you have the freedom that you want? Do you have the options you want? Do you have the growth you want? You'll never feel trapped if you live a life of freedom, options, and growth. That's why I live and breathe on that all the time. And that's why when I get sick, I don't have those options anymore, do I? I don't have the freedom. I just don't have them. And that's why it reminds me of this. But still, even when you're stuck on a couch with tissues piled up like a monument to congestion, I'm not going to step, I'm not going to do it. Psychologists have this thing they call locus of control. People with an internal locus of control, they believe they can influence their life through decisions and behavior. People with an external locus of control believe life happens to them. I am the kind who believes that I influence my own life and my own decisions and behavior. I'm also the kind that believes sometimes other people influence me externally. Happens all the time. Get a phone call, watch something on TV, it happens. That's why I always talk about being aware. My daily awareness diary is about that. It's about understanding what's influencing you so you can stop that, break that pattern, and get back into influencing yourself. You got to be careful because you can't control getting sick, can you? But you can control what it means to you. You can decide, well, it's proof I'm fragile. I've had people say that. I just get sick all the time. I can't help it. Or it's a reminder to stay who you are. When I'm forced to slow down, I always hear the same message, same internal message. Are you building your life around freedom or reacting to somebody else's expectations? Because here's what usually happens to people. It's not your job. It's not your marriage. It's not your family. It's not surrendering to other people's priorities. This is where the trap begins. It's you and your mindset. And yeah, maybe you can't live 24/7 freedom. Maybe that's not practical. I don't think anything is practical, really. I think everything is practical in the moment, and then suddenly it's not practical anymore. But if you hang it, work it a little bit, you get back to it, don't you? So I guess my question as I kind of roll through the show today, you can tell on my mind, is about having freedom, having options, having choices in your life, being able to grow. And looking at your job and looking at your family and looking at your friends and looking at your schedule and saying, do I really have that? And some of you right now is like, yeah, Scott, I can't have that. We can't. Hell, you can't. It's just your choice to go after it. Change everything, to move in that direction. If you don't know how, listen to me more, because that's all I ever do. Is it easy? Yes. Is it easy? No. What? I wanted options so I could edit one out. Oh, heck with it. It's both. Come on, man. All right, not the most motivating show on the planet, but it is where I live and breathe. It is exactly. If you ever get me on the phone and talk to me, I will always go back to those three, and I will always question whether you have it or you don't. That's it. Okay, can I leave now? I promise I'll get back to something a little bit different tomorrow, but I have no idea what that will be. We'll see how this bug works. In the meantime, you have a great day.